guys and girls, welcome to Guido's Kitchen. Well, that's actually Mr. G's kitchen. Today, we're going to talk about a few things. We're going to talk about poetry, and we're going to talk about gravy. I'm not talking about brown gravy, I'm talking about the red gravy you put on spaghetti. Italians call it gravy. Other people call it spaghetti sauce. But either way, we're going to talk about both today. Alright, the first thing we're going to talk about is the ingredients. Now, for good gravy, you need good tomatoes. Okay? We take those tomatoes, we're going to put them in the pan. I'll show you what happens then. Also, to complement the gravy, we need some other stuff. We need some olive oil, some spices, and then we need the spaghetti. Okay? That's what we're going to start with for our gravy. But, how does this fit into poetry? Okay, so let's talk about our gravy. You take tomato paste, you fry it in a little bit of olive oil with some garlic, some seasoning, and you let it thin out. Then you put your other tomatoes over the top. Okay, you let that simmer for a while. Bam, you have gravy. But you have to taste it, you have to edit it, you have to add a little more of this, a little more of that. That's what makes gravy. Okay, so we have gravy. Now let's talk about poetry. What is poetry? Poetry is short, concise communication done in an artistic or expressive manner. Again, it's short, concise communication done in an artistic or expressive manner. Now, what does that all mean? First of all, let's break it down. Let's start with communication. Communication, you have three things. You have a sender, you have the message in the middle, and then you have a receiver. Everybody clear on that? We all know that. What makes it poetry isn't just putting words on paper, isn't just writing random sentences down. It's that artistic or expressive manner. Okay? So if we're going to keep up with our comparison or our metaphor, what we're going to talk about is adding the spices. How much of this do we add? How much of that do we add? Well, we're really not sure until we really get it down on paper, and that's where the editing process comes in. Okay, one more time. The base tomatoes, that's our communication. Everybody understand that? The sender, the message, the receiver. That's our communication. It's our spices, which are the additional things that we add to make it poetry. That's the artistic or that expressive manner. Okay? That's adding a little extra Italian seasoning. Add some hot pepper flakes. Adding some salt and pepper. Adding my favorite spice, a little bit extra garlic. Okay? And then, when we put it all together, we still taste it and alright, this needs something else. It needs a little more kick, or maybe it needs to be a little sweeter, so we add some sugar, which you can do with gravy. Okay? Same thing with poetry. Alright? We put it down on paper, we look at it, we let it sit, we let it compost. That's for those of you that were in my writing lab. We let it compost for a little while, we let it sit, then we edit it. Okay, what words are we using? Are we using the correct words in the correct place? We also have to talk about which words we're using for which situation. Some words have that connotation or denotation where they have that extra meaning that goes with them. You need to think about that too. Everything's important in poetry. Remember, it's short, concise communication. That doesn't mean that it's only 3 or 4 lines. What that means is the words that we put down on paper, how we put them down on paper, how we construct it, what images we create, they're concise, they're dense. Sort of like my gravy. See that? Nice and thick. It'll lay right over the spaghetti once it's done. I have to add a little more spice to this here and there, but I'll get there. Do you see how thick that gravy was? that's just like writing a poem for the first time. You put those words down on paper and you're kind of like, I don't know if this works. But you also have to think, what message am I trying to convey to my reader? What images am I trying to get them to use? Now, in order to spice things up, we use figurative language. Right? I sent you guys a PowerPoint with a whole bunch of different types of figurative language. Onomatopoeia, oxymoron, pun, metaphor, simile, personification, alliteration. They're all there. You can use all of those to put in. It's also about the rhythm and the rhyme. Although all poems don't have to rhyme, and all poems don't have to have rhythm, but they do. And sometimes that rhythm is having no rhythm. Okay, your portfolio. Again, with that PowerPoint I sent you, there's a couple of forms. There's haiku, there's limericks, there's ballads, all of those things. I put those in there. Why? Some of you are going to have trouble. It's just one of those things. It's okay. I'm not looking for you to be an excellent poet right off the bat. I'm looking for you to try. I'm looking for you to experiment. Now, how do we want to do this? I have answers for that too. Have no fear, I'm going to type this up. There's going to be one in the download box, and there's also going to be one on the message board. Okay, I want one poem. That is, if you're writing free verse. If you're writing haiku, you're writing limericks, you're writing couplets, I'm going to need a little more, because let's face it, one couplet of 2 lines, not a poem. We need a little bit more. I want to see your talent. I want to see you use the figurative language. Even if you use it incorrectly, I want you to try. That's what's important right now, is for you to try this. Because, you know what? Not everyone writes poetry right off the bat. Sometimes it takes time. But you need to practice. You need to try. You need to try and express yourself. Okay? But anyway, I'm going to type this up. I want you to try something, whatever it's going to be. If you're going to do couplets, do couplets. If you're going to write free verse, write free verse. I want to caution you, though. Topics can be whatever you want. You can write about your dog. You can write about a summer's day. Try and stay away from the mushy love poems where you're confessing your love for your true love and whatnot. Let's stay away from those. Let's do something else. Poems can be about anything. They've been about anything. And we can find poems everywhere. Do you know that most songs stem from poetry? You see, at one time, music and lyrics were separate. It was a lyric poem. The music was separate. It was bards that put them together. The bard would play his lute or his lyre and would say the poetry, therefore combining the two. Make sense? That's why the stuff in songs today are called lyrics. But whatever you choose to do, try. That's what I'm asking. Is it going to come out as good as my gravy? Maybe not, but maybe so. It's worth trying. I will also caution you on one other thing. Poetry is not story writing and it's not essay writing. Okay? Remember, you have to be expressive. You have to be artistic in the way you express things. Take a look at some poems. Take a look at some poems. Shel Silverstein, Where the Sidewalk Ends, is a nice, easy one. You can look that up. And you can look up like poetry.org and find a whole bunch of things. Now, again, be appropriate. Alright? Are we all clear? This is what I expect from you. One poem, couple of lines. As far as length, be academic about it, but don't stress yourself out about it. I want you to try. I want you to be expressive. Be creative. You know, and those of you that attended Writing Lab, I always tell you, go out on a limb. Try something new. All right, here's your chance. Try something new with poetry. And thank you for coming to my kitchen today. I have some nice gravy here. I'll show you guys one more time because it's still heating up. And, you know, I'll make the spaghetti tomorrow because my daughter's coming over. We'll have dinner. But it would be really mushy by tomorrow if I made it tonight. Listen, you guys have a great day. I hope you enjoyed this. My first attempt, but hey, we'll try anything once.